What is up, guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Hyuga Corp Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Hyuga, and this is my co-host,
it's your boy, Flu.
And welcome to today's episode. So, as promised, this episode is a Season 4 recap of Overlord, and holy shit, boy, this show does not miss.
We've got the first 4 episodes to recap.
Yep, we're talking about the first 4 episodes that came out, and we watched all 4 of them. And we're so excited to make this episode today, like super excited. Like today is going to be like, dude, so much. Okay, so
yeah, where do you want to start? We probably should have talked about that.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is.
Because you can start in a lot of spots.
Yeah, let's just start at the beginning. So, so basically, I'm loving where this starts off, where it shows the kingdom. It shows Ainz in the kingdom. It shows Albedo and everybody in the kingdom. Yeah. It shows the people in his kingdom. Everybody's afraid. It's still got Momo and stuff, but people are still hesitant of him being the king of their town.
Rightfully so.
I mean, after he murdered literally 150,000 people.
Most of their families.
In like a second.
Yeah.
So I can see why they'd be hesitant to accept his rule. And the Death Knights literally just walking around the perimeter, securing the city and
Death
stuff.
Knights, the mages.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening right now for the citizens of the Sorcerer Kingdom, now known as the Sorcerer Kingdom.
Yep.
His kingdom.
They're calling it. Is it Rantel? E-Rantel?
E-Rantel, which is now the Sorcerer Kingdom. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Wow.
I know, it's so sick. So, starts off with that. Apparently, Albedo and Demiurge have concocted some type of plan in these other nations to basically help his kingdom, but have a world domination rule, which Ainz doesn't really agree with. He doesn't really agree with the world domination thing, but he does, because the original goal of Overlord was him to spread his guild's name as far as possible, right? But they're on some, like, fuck all the human shit, like, we're the superiors type world takeover stuff for Ainz. And Ainz hasn't really said no to it, but
that's not his motive.
It's not his motive, so he doesn't really care. I mean, they're basically living out the actions as if they're creators, because, they talked about it.
He's also trying to figure out if there's still other players in the game, possibly. Mm-hmm. There's some potential real threats to, just himself and his kingdom, I guess. But it's not that he doesn't care about the people of his kingdom, because he does.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he has to, he'll easily sacrifice them to prove a point, because obviously, like...
Yeah, but I like that in this season they're able to show, like, obviously he's never... Besides, he's run a guild, but he's never ruled a nation. So it's kind of cool.
We've only seen him working with his, like, subordinates and maids, Albedo, Demiurge. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen him actually working with the head of the Adventure Guild.
Well, that was cool.
Stuff like this.
That was cool. Yeah. So you want to talk about that? About him establishing the Adventure?
That's a little later. That's just a little later. That was just an example.
Okay.
But seeing him work with the the Emperor and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's also super cool seeing like Demiurge and Albedo going off on their own and having their own little thing going on the side, but it still connects with the overall story, and it'll eventually, I'm sure, end up helping Ainz in some way. Possibly.
I think that it's cool that he shows that they're independence, and also I like that especially with Albedo, that
they're independent, but they still, they're super loyal to him. Yeah. And they're still, they're all about their mission and what their goal is. They're not going off and doing their own thing.
Right.
To an extent, but, I mean, in a capacity that would still make Ainz happy. Mm-hmm. And just, they're on that world domination ship because they're oh yeah, we are just actually ridiculously powerful compared to everything else.
Yeah, and they really believe in Ainz and Momo, and they really think that he should run everything.
Because they think he's too nice.
They think he's a god. And they think he should own
way
everything.
Too fucking powerful to be this nice to everybody else.
Right.
Nobody deserves to even talk to him or be in his presence, let alone in the same carriage as him and talking. So,
right.
So, yeah. But it's still like it's super cool to see the interactions and just the growth. I won't say growth as much as just like a shift in how he's operating. From staying inside of the guild walls itself and then just kind of sending people out or going out on his own with one or two other people, having separate missions to kind of gather info. Now he's like, fuck it, let's just, conquer a kingdom. We'll take over a kingdom. I know he killed a ton of people, right? But
he didn't slay anybody.
But in terms of what he could have done, that was like him being merciful. Like that was his.
He could have went through and just murdered everybody, and then just took it over himself.
Like that was the easiest way for him to showcase his power, and
what's his name? The Emperor said. He said those people. He said his people are living in peace.
Jerkniv.
Yeah, Jerkniv. Yeah. Jerkniv,
living
the
in
Emperor.
Peace.
He said his nation is in peace.
Yeah, he's not like he just wants to be peaceful, and that's kind of what it is. But he knows with all these other nations that's not possible,
right?
Because of the rulers, because of all this other stuff.
Now Beto and Demiurge know that's not possible too, which is why they're doing shit in the background for him, and he really doesn't have to question it because their loyalty is 100% to him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So I like that. 100%. So let's talk about the princess.
Sure.
So they go into they episode 2. I want to say they cut into could have been 1.
There was a little bit of 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So they cut into the princess, and the princess is at an orphanage, and she's doing she's playing with the kids and shit like that, right? And then they tell her, hey, it's time to go, blah, blah, blah. And she hops in the carriage. And that's where you see Evil Eye and her, sidekick chick. I can't remember what the chick's name is. But the side chick. Chick.
And then that one...
And the puppy dude. What's his name? What's his name? Fuck, I can't believe I forgot his name. But he's in there, right?
Wow. We're terrible.
Yeah, we are terrible. We're not terrible. But I'm going to call him the puppy guy because everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So he's in there with them, right? And she's in there... And she's just kind of asking him. So when I first saw it, and she was in there asking him questions about the adventurers and their abilities and their powers and stuff, I was like, that's good questions because they really haven't covered that.
But it's a kind of question that she's asking.
Yeah, it's kind of question that she's asking.
And it's also the way she's acting.
Mad sus.
It's just
but it was good because they did it in a way where she's asking the questions to find out. But we don't know either because they've never went over adventurers. Because we just followed Momon and the Lightning Maid.
Right.
His battle maid were the 2 adventurers. Right? Because you had Momon and the battle maid chick. And they were adventurers. But they're not adventurers. They're fucking gods, basically.
True.
So, they don't have a last resort ability or skill thing or whatever. So they're just fucking complete missions. There's no thing like that.
There's no growth. They're
at the peak of power. They're not really threatened by anything. It was cool that when she's asking them the questions about their powers and abilities, that they have trump cards and stuff like that that not everybody knows about. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And then, so she was asking a lot of questions, which was kind of suspect, but I never really thought anything about it. It wasn't until she got to the castle and she went to talk to her brother. And her brother's still looking for his brother. But, let's be real. He's probably a goat poop or something like this by now with what Ainz did in the end of season 3. So, you know what I mean? So
I hear you.
So that's not going to happen. So, but he's still looking for him. So then, Princess arrives from being out there in the carriage and stuff, and she's talking to him. And she's like, hey, I don't know if you know, but now would probably be a good time to put something together because you're probably going to get a visit. You're going to get a visit. Not probably. You're going to get a visit from a diplomat from the Sorcerer Kingdom. Right. And he's like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I should probably prep for that. We should probably get ready for that. And then a messenger comes right when they're talking. Is like, hey, there's a diplomat from the fucking Sorcerer Kingdom. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So then he goes out there. You want to describe it from there? You want to tell what happens from there? Because that shit was a flex for sure. That was a mega flex.
Who was it that shows up? It wasn't Albedo.
It was Sir Cavalier.
Sir Cavalier. Oh, God, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, the fucking horses and everything that they're traveling on.
So cool.
So fucking sick. The They look like Ghost Rider type stuff.
Yeah.
But super cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, they show up, and I mean, that's where I get kind of confused because I definitely think the princess is not the princess. Okay, go ahead. I really don't think she is, just because of the way she's acting. Like the facial expressions, everything like that just makes me think she is not the princess. That she is somebody in Ainz's, under his payroll, basically. Yeah. But I don't know what the angle is with that kingdom. That's where I'm a little bit lost, if that makes sense.
So let's back up a little bit and talk about Albeito's arrival.
Okay.
There. So Sir Cavalier does come up and introduce himself, and they're freaking out, and the prince is like, don't anybody do anything that can be fucking signified as disrespect.
Right.
Don't do fucking nothing. You just sit here, you don't do shit. And the guy comes up and says, hey, we're an envoy for whatever. And the guy's like, I am Prince, blah, blah, blah. Who's your name? He's like, I don't really have a name. That you brought it up. Call me Cavalier. Like, yeah. I'm just
one of the many.
I'm one of many.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, Sir Cavalier. And I was like, Sir Cavalier. I was like, I bang with him. So then he goes back and they get Albedo. And then Albedo is introduced to the guy, the king or whatever, and the kid, and he's scared shitless. And I would be too. I would be too. Albedo is like
you're a kid and you're literally facing down.
Yeah.
You can't comprehend the power.
Albedo is not somebody you want to fuck with at all. Trigger anything, because she has an instant temper. Like, it's not even
like Ainz can tell her, hey, don't leave them alone.
Yeah,
but you go a little bit over a line, and all of a sudden there's nowhere for you to go.
There's nowhere.
There's no you.
Exactly.
So yeah, you got to be a little bit careful around her.
That ain't no shit.
Which luckily this kid kind of figures out. Like, he already knows.
He knows. He's like, okay, this is her. He's like, oh, yeah, I should probably be careful. Yeah. He's like, hey, we'll set you up a nice place, blah blah blah. So that happens. So then they go to the ball, and there's a ball going on and shit. And
for a neighboring
Albedo introducing
for a neighboring king. It's not a king, lord.
It was a nobles party.
Noble party, yeah.
I'd say it was a nobles party.
But
and it was to introduce Albedo to all the nobles, basically.
Yep.
And
something to keep in mind, she's holding something important, Joe.
Yes. So I'm gonna let you talk about that when we backpedal.
Gotcha.
Right after I finish this, I'll let you talk about that. So they do. Albedo shows up for the whatchamacallit, right?
The ball, yep.
The ball. And she's walking down and she's looking good because she's Albedo and she's fucking bae. And this scrubby ass dude, bro, is like from the corner, dude, is just like mesmerized by her. And I'm like, bro, you want to talk about fucking with a Black Widow? Like, that's not, like, I have no idea.
This whole sequence of events still boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious to see what happens with that situation.
I'm just surprised the man is so attracted to death. I mean, I guess that kind of shows you, like, I don't know. I mean, it's anime, but it kind of shows you, like, a man could get in trouble real easy from certain things being awry.
As you know, pussy kills.
Pussy does kill, bro. It can kill you very easily. So, I mean, Wars and Kingdoms, Troy, and everything's falling over that shit. So you got to be careful. So he goes up, basically pushes past everybody, and goes up to her and just, like, introduces himself. He's just like, I'd like to invite you to a thing. And everybody's like, that dude's got a fucking pair. That dude has a pair. Holy shit. And she's like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So then,
inside, she's like, how disrespectful and all this other stuff.
Well, no, not yet. I mean, I'm sure she was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is talking to me? But not yet. So then, it goes to his family, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking to his family. So his dad's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, you stay out of this shit. Like, you don't want nothing to do with these motherfuckers. Like,
the high-ups don't want to deal with this.
They killing people, and we own like one little town, bro, of like farmers and shit. The fuck are we supposed to do? Yeah. And we're gonna throw a ball and shit for her? Like, bro, we ain't got the funds. We got anything? You need to shut your fucking mouth. He's like, nah, Dad, it's cool. I got this noble chick. You know what I'm saying? She said she'd pay the way. She believes in me. and all this shit, you know? We got the bread, bro. It's all good. I got sugar mama.
Little does it know.
And I'm thinking, like, okay, you got a sugar mama? All right, cool. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So they throw the ball, and they show this chick, right? And everybody's talking to the chick and stuff. Yeah. And he's like, why ain't nobody talking to me? What the fuck, right?
Right.
And then, so then she goes and talk to him, and she looks mad old. She looks like kind of like older. She looks old, like kind of old and kind of a little decrepit. Like like
not that old.
She looks like she's Haggy level. Like she's on, because she's got giant knockers, but that's it. Her face looks old.
It's not that old though.
She's not like old lady, but she looks like she's like.
I guess
she looks like she's like old. You know.
I guess.
And she's talking to him and shit, and then Albedo shows up. Albedo shows up there to the ball, right? And he sees her, and he's like, God, dude, she's so hot. And he's talking to the chick. He's like, yo, you think I could court her? And she's like, no. No, it's a horrible idea. That's a horrible idea.
You stand zero chance.
Yeah, zero, no.
Try. You might as well never try that.
I wouldn't even.
Why would you even think that?
He's like, and then his dumb ass, well, I think I got a shot.
I got this.
I think I got a shot. She's like, no, you don't. So they walk through the thing, and they're going to go to the opening thing where everybody's at, right?
Yeah, where they announce the host.
Announce the host and shit, bro. And he's walking with her, and he's asking her questions like, is she married? Is she single? And she's like, no, I'm single. You know, and shit like that. I'm like, oh. I'm thinking,
you're just waiting.
I'm scared for my man. So he's not even my boy, and I'm scared for him, you know?
You don't like him, but you know
I like him, but I'm like, Jesus, dude. Dude, I'm like, Jesus, dude, like you could have picked anybody, bro. This is like not the chick. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you. And so they go to do it, and they're going to open the door, man, and my man puts his hand on her arm, bro. He grabs her on her shoulder.
Yeah, arm around the shoulder.
Like, you know, puts like an arm around her, you know, like a movie theater, bro. And I heard glass break.
Yeah, you hear the freeze, you see the freeze, you see the, like, expression, you see the freeze, and you're like, oh, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, so he died. Okay, so he's dead now. Puts his arm on Albedo. Okay, so he's dead, right?
I thought for sure, dude, when they were going to open the door, bro, when the door opened, like
so that's it?
His arm would, like, fall off or some shit, or, like, his head would be on the floor, like, rolling or some shit.
I thought we would hear, like, the gasps, and you just see, like, his body's missing.
I thought he'd explode in a fucking bloody carcass for touching Albedo.
The door is just open.
Oh, my God, dude.
And
I thought for sure he was dead. Well, he looked over at her because it sounded like glass breaking or some shit. He's like, yo, you good? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, yeah. You know the crazy bitch look? Like, you've seen those guys. Hey, everybody out there knows the crazy bitch look, bro. Like, everybody knows that look like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, shit. Dude, when I saw that, dude, I was like, oh, shit, dude. He is so fucking dead.
You already know he's going to die a terrible death.
He is so fucking dead,
He's going to die terrible. After he's done being used, he's going to have a terrible death.
He is so fucking dead, bro. He is so dead. So he goes in there, bro, and then the whole thing kind of skips forward. And then it's over, right? And he's like, and Albedo's talking to the last few people and stuff, and then she goes to leave. He's like, well, let me escort her to her room. And then blonde chick's like, bro, no, you're not doing that.
You had your fun.
You had your fun, but that's done. Like, it would raise suspicion if she makes an excuse.
She plays it off.
Yeah, if you walk her to her room. Right. And he's like, all right, cool. So she and Albedo are walking back, and Albedo's got this, like, tablecloth thing, and she's like, I can't believe this fucking filthy motherfucker, like, piece of shit.
Piece of filth touched my shoulder.
Piece of filth.
And I had to leave him alone.
Nobody fucking touches me but Lord Hines. Some motherfucker thinks he's getting away with. Well, I'm gonna fucking, like, and I was like, and dude, the whole blonde chick's like, she's like scared for her life, dude, as she should be.
Who's the mate? The blonde chick that we're talking about?
We're assuming.
Right now, we're assuming
that she's one of the battle maids
from earlier season 1, when her and Silas were doing their investigations early on in the town. But that's who we think that is right now.
Yep, that's who we think that is.
just by the way she reacts to Albedo and everything.
Yeah, because obviously she knows that they're.
Shalltear would react a little bit more.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be as scared and all that.
So we think that's what we think. So don't tell us any don't give us spoilers, but you can say yay or nay.
Well, that's a spoiler. Well, no, yeah, you can tell us no. You can tell us
no. You can tell us no. It's not, and we don't need to know who it is, but we can say no. So then they go back, and she's like, Albedo, I can prepare another fucking noble if you want to manipulate her if you want. She's like, no, it's fucking fine. So then they go in the room, and Albedo basically setting up the Oki. Yeah, we want to steal. I want you guys to give us all these goods. I want all this stuff. I want all this stuff here when it's shipped back to Ainz's kingdom to feed them and to deal with the food shortage from them. And everything like that. So she's basically stealing resources from that nation.
From other nations to help Sorcerer Kingdom and make it look,
and help them out.
Exactly.
So then, if you weren't paying attention, you didn't watch after the cutscenes, because a lot of people don't watch after the cutscenes, there is a scene. And I'm going to let you take over that. And
I don't remember that scene too well. Is it the one where
that's where the princess, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I only remember the kneeling in front of the princess.
Okay, so the princess and Albedo were in there, and they're like, and she's like, Albedo's like, so what's the progress? And then she's like, I'm doing everything. Everything's going according to plan. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it can't be the princess.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it can't be the princess.
I think it is, though. I think it is, though. And I think it is, though. Because when she's in there and she's talking, she's like, tell me, so they're in there talking, and Albedo's like, okay, enough talking about work. She's like, everything for the invasion is good. We're good to go. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, Black Kingdom's getting fucked if they're getting invaded. So then she's like, tell me more about tell me more about your puppy. About your puppy. She's talking about the blonde kid.
Yeah.
Right? And after she gives her, reaches in the dimension, and it hands her this orb, this cube, and asks her if she can open it. I don't know what the fuck that cube is, but there was like a little demon spirit sitting there next to her or whatever. She's like, yeah, I can open it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So then she's like, tell me more about your puppy. And she's like, okay, but you gotta tell me more about Ainz. If she was somebody that worked for Ainz, she wouldn't say, tell me about Ainz, I'll go. Tell me more about Ainz. Because if she was a part of Ainz's crew, then she would know about Ainz. She wouldn't say, tell me more about Ainz.
She would know, but maybe she wants to know more personal things, because Albedo is more personal at times.
That's true.
That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know, because, like, she can't be a princess. If she's a princess, then she's
she's got a dark side.
That's...
Because that creepy smile.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's part of the bad side then, to some extent.
Well, you saw the way she looked at the night kid when he was a kid when she found him when he was a kid.
Like
she was looking at him mad creepy, like so yeah. So then after that, the next episode they cut to Albedo getting ready to leave.
Right. Before that trip.
Yeah.
Which is when she's talking to Ainz and when the other maids are getting ready to load up in the carriage. Which is when she gets the item. Is that the god item?
It's a staff. It's like a god little mini staff wand
looking thing, yeah.
Wand thing, yeah.
But it prevents use of any magical items on a person holding that, as long as she keeps holding it. So throughout the first 2 episodes we see her holding this wand.
But she won't let it go.
She won't let it go. And she's always holding it like right in front of her like that. That's what that is it prevents her from, like Shalltear was brainwashed and, prevents that from happening. Because they're still trying to figure out that whole sequence of events and how that happened and all of that. But
Ainz kind of grills her too.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Grills her and then also...
Make sure she has everything. Anti-teleport. What happens if you can't teleport?
But it's also like you see a more caring side to Ainz.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he tells the maid, forget you saw that. Caring, kisses her cheek, all this stuff. You see Albedo kind of like go, holy shit, I can't believe you just acknowledged me like this. Do her thing. But yeah, so like the whole thing, they keep going back to that flashback a little bit. And then like those 3 and 4, episode 3 and 4. Because that's like, it's kind of him showing his, not growth, but like sensitivity is starting to show more.
Yeah, and like you had said,
which is what you were talking about earlier too, with like it's being counteractive to what Demiurge and Albedo and all want. So I feel like he's trying to wear them down, maybe. Try and make them more
personable.
Maybe that. Benevolent towards people, stuff like that. I think that might be part of what
he's more caring.
Yeah. But that was kind of interesting to see because I feel like that's a pretty big jump like, it's so different how he acts with his guildmate created NPCs than, like, the real NPCs in the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Like you had said, and you had brought up about him caring and kind of teaching them emotion, when he talked to his NPC that he built, which was the Nazi-looking guy, or whatever. I can't remember what his name is. I'm dropping names today, but
not the Touch Me.
Nope, that Touch Me is one of the guild masters. That's the night dude. That's the night dude he referred to in the battle with the ogre. He's like, dude, he would have loved to do this. But anyway, so he created him, and he kind of was just telling him, like, you know, hey, I created you, and he's like, yeah, I remember, like, you created me, and he's like, I'll always don't tell anybody else, but I will always favor you because I made you, and I expect great things from you. You know what I'm saying? Because I made you, type of thing. And he's like, yeah, like, you know, no problem.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, no problem.
As expected. Yeah.
As expected. Right?
Yeah.
And which made me raise a question on whether or not Ainz was German. Because when what's his name was speaking German, and he said you don't have to speak. Yeah, and understood him. He said you don't have to speak German here. We can just talk.
But I felt like that was just because it's a game.
It's flavor text. He probably had him speaking German in his flavor text.
I don't know.
But which made me think, is Ainz German? Because can Ainz understand German? So maybe he's German. It'd be nice. It'd be cool to see a player that's not Japanese or something like that inside of
a Japanese style game.
Yeah,
well,
and MMO type.
We're 4 seasons in, and we don't. It's not like a custom thing. I would like that if it was like a custom thing. Yeah, you have to deal with the culture differences and everything like that. But I don't know.
But I just thought that was interesting.
It is interesting, though.
Okay, so that leads us to,
but also the priests.
Yeah, I was gonna say that leads us to the priests. So go ahead.
But then we see the priests, the group of priests, the
behind the scenes guys.
The head priest for like the fire order, you know, all that stuff. The wind, earth, all those elements.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite episodes so far.
This one's pretty cool.
Out of the.
But we see them talking, and they're talking about like the Emperor Jerkniv or whatever his name is. Basically, not so much taunting Ainz, but just like constantly trying to. He's siding with Ainz, but also going against his back and trying to fight him, build forces to fight him.
Right.
So they're talking about him, and then they go to basically like say, "Hey, you gotta stop antagonizing Ainz Algun in the Sorcerer Kingdom."
Well, don't forget that they talk about the report. So the main thing that's important there is the report.
Well, they also leave stuff out of the report, and I don't understand that either.
Well, they explain that. So they said that...
They explained why it was left out?
Yeah, why stuff was left out of the report. So they said... So what's his name says... he said, okay...
The head of the order, the fire guy.
Yeah, he said that, here, we have the report of what happened, of the battle, from the astrology girl, of what happened. He said, but it's kind of hard to believe, and there's a lot of stuff left out of it. They're like, well, how do you know that? And they're like, well...
Because of the state that she's in.
Because the state that she's in, she couldn't give a accurate report, and the stuff that she's written down here is kind of unbelievable. Right. Like, I don't think that... Right. It's impossible for the shit she's saying.
Yeah, they go
so then they pass out the reports.
And everyone's like, is that real? He wiped out 130,000 people.
50,000.
Sorry, 50,000 people with one spell. And they're like, yeah.
In an instant.
In an instant, yeah.
And she left before she even saw the goats.
The goats.
Yeah.
She left out the part that they trampled everything.
The Death Knights.
Yeah, the Death Knights. She left out the part that all the Death Knights you see in the city right now are all those people from the wave.
Yeah, reanimated.
She left out quite a bit.
Yeah, she left out a lot.
The families are still in the city. They're just not what they used to be.
Right.
Yeah, well, because she bounced and then had her mental breakdown, and then you see her in her bed just freaking
the fuck out. Yeah.
Just like crying.
Everything's pointless. What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like the one she's a seer.
Yeah, she's like, super. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that has the visions. She's never been wrong. Every time she says something, it's like, this is it. Yeah. That's why they have to believe what she says, but they're also like, this is so ridiculous. Like, how is it possible? That?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's not something that we even thought was possible. Yeah.
Right.
But then they go to talk to the Emperor. Something pretty unexpected happens.
So yeah, they go to talk to the Emperor. I guess to get the scoop on Ainz, right?
Basically. To figure out his power, like if what they read was actually possible. Because because they figured it was against his empire, obviously. Well, partially, so he's worked with him, he should know.
Right.
Essentially. And they're they give him like a list of questions. They go and sit with him at the Coliseum where they have these the meeting.
And the Emperor was going to ask for help from them to kind of break free or to help fight him.
To help fight Ainz. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he didn't even get a chance to do this because like he has to answer these questions and he doesn't really answer any of them, I don't think.
He answered a few, but it wasn't on paper. It was by voice.
Right. He didn't answer any of the actual questions that they wanted to know the answer to. Like the power question, how powerful Ainz Al Ghun is. And they don't even get to find out. They could have found out a little bit, but they chose not to. For good reason, I guess. But they're at this Coliseum for these games, right? Mm-hmm. They're seeing the strongest warrior in the kingdom fight some challenger, right? They don't know who the challenger is. It's this new thing. It just came up.
Yeah. And it's a perfect place to like talk, right?
It's a perfect place to talk.
It's like a Caesar Coliseum.
It's a Caesar Coliseum. He's in their Empire suite, whatever. Yeah. Like nobody can hear.
Room,
yeah. They're like
they had security.
They had security. He hired a adamantite adventure group to make sure there's no magic items, there's nobody eavesdropping, anything like that. Yeah. So, because he was super afraid Ainz is going to like catch him trying to get help to overthrow him. So these games start, and the Emperor has to do like introduction and everything because it's the Coliseum game. Yeah. It's that kind of style.
Yeah.
So do the introduction. They introduce the warrior king who's fighting, and then they introduce the challenger while the Emperor's talking to the priest. And you hear the voice in the back. And introducing the challenger, I think they say from the Sorcerer Kingdom, His Majesty Ainz Al Ghun. You see the Emperor just like you see like the freeze frame, the sweat build, and the
because he was already nervous about doing that in the first place.
And then the next scene is him just looking up, and Ainz is just floating.
Right. Well, the people the fucking people, the challenger Ainz Al Ghun, and they're like, "You set us the fuck up.
You set us the fuck up.
You set us up.
Well, like before anybody can even move,
you set us up. You motherfucker.
Just like, you hear
no, I swear I didn't set you guys up. I swear."
You turns his back. You hear that sound, that flapping sound. Yeah. And it's like that's a cape flapping in the fucking wind.
Yeah, dude.
And then he stops. He goes, Lord Ainz.
Ainz is, what up, bitches? With his battle axe, like, yo, what's up? And he's like, oh, fancy meeting you here.
And the first thing that happens as soon as they see him, he's like, who are your friends?
He's
like, you're going to have to talk to him in a second after we leave.
We have an emergency.
Yeah, we have an emergency. We're going to bounce. The priests are just like, we're just going to get out of here real quick.
Yeah. Because we had something come up, and
we're not about it. Like,
they feel free to ask him about us after we leave.
You see him flying in front of you like that. It's just like, that answers all your questions right there, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Everything that they've just done.
The flex.
For him to just show up like that, and flaunt, just like, hey, bitch boy.
Yeah,
you got something for me?
hey, what's up? Fancy meeting you here. He said, hey, man, what are you doing here? He's like, it's the Coliseum. I normally come here to, for the thing.
This is for my
and he's like, oh, I'm actually here to fight the warrior king. What a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ainz is like, what a coincidence. And the blonde guy's having a fucking mental soup meltdown, bro. Like, he had to have fucking known. He had to have fucking known plotting against him. He had to have known. That's the only way. That's the reason why he's here.
At the time, but it's all coincidence.
Yeah. He's like, that had to have been why he's here. What if that, and he's like, all right, well, I gotta go fight, so I'll holler at y'all in a bit.
I'll talk to you after the fight.
I'll talk to you after the fight. And then he fucking dips down, and everybody's like, you motherfucker. You set us up, blah, blah. He's like, bro, I swear to God, I didn't set you up. Like, everything like that. They're like, nah, fuck you. Fuck you, bro.
Yes,
fuck you, bro. We out, fuck you. Don't ask for us for help. Don't ask us for nothing. Fuck you. And he's like, bro, it's not even like that. And they're like, well, what is it then? He's like, I have no idea. He's like, look.
He wasn't supposed to be here.
He's not supposed to be here. He's like, but look, his kingdom's living in peace. Like,
his people are peace.
Because they said, and just one thing, how is he as a person? And he's like, look, his kingdom's living in peace. He's never done anything to harm me or my people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
besides wiping out a lot of...
But that wasn't his forces. That was the enemy forces.
No, right, but still.
But he said, like, he's never done anything to me. Like, like, he's extremely powerful.
He just knows what he's capable of, but he hasn't done anything against him yet because they're quote-unquote allies right now.
Right.
But...
and they were afraid. They
were super afraid. But, like, after they leave, once the fight starts, or is about to start and everything, you see him, like, I, Warrior King, beat him! And you're just like, oh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You dummy.
Yeah, my man is literally...
My man immediately starts cheering for the Warrior King.
Immediately. As soon as the match starts, immediately starts cheering for the Warrior King. What we find out is actually an ogre. Which is actually what we actually find out.
He's a war troll.
War troll. So then let's go back. Because you
have to go back.
Because you have to go back before you can get to that. So we go back. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, 37 minutes? Oh, shit. Okay, so then we go back, and you find out that Ainz, right after Ainz sent Albedo off, he set up a meeting with the Adventurer Guild guy to talk to him about recruiting people to his kingdom to help explore the land.
Yes.
Because the land...
Not even just fight for him.
Not fight for him, just explore.
Literally just explore. Actually be adventurous.
And the Adventure Guild guy's like, well, we have no fucking adventurers because everybody's afraid.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, point made. But
fair enough.
How do we go about recruiting people? And he's like, well, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think we can do anything. And he's like, well,
there's always a
way, so let's see if we can do this, you know. And he's like, well, I can't do that with you because adventure guilds are normally 100% separate from whatever government is going on.
The empire itself.
The
it's
empire,
a different entity.
King, empire, they're their own, they're like church and state. They're separate.
Right.
And for that reason, because adventurers aren't meant to be soldiers for war.
Exactly.
They're meant to solve it. They're like police, in essence.
They're just,
They're like police. They handle requests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wish police were adventurers. They're actually fucking cool, but it's not like that. So then he's like, okay, well, what do we need to do? He's like, well, you need to announce that you're doing that. I can talk to some people, but we really need to advertise, you know, what you're trying to do.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, well,
what's the best way to do that?
What's the best way to do that? He's like, well, there's a fight coming up at the Coliseum. Maybe that's your play. And I'm just like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you could challenge the warrior god.
Yeah. Thing, and then you could recruit people from that kingdom because everybody watches that. So you'd have a good chance to do that. He's like, okay. So he's like, there's rules. So he's like, I'm gonna hook you up with my arena friend, and my arena friend can get you the fight. He's like, all right, cool, appreciate you. So he hooks him up with the arena friend. So what I like about this Adventure Guild guy though, is that he is 100% honest to Ainz. Well, and Ainz says he appreciates that because he tells Ainz that he's wrong or that that's not how shit works. He's honest with them.
Yeah.
He's not a yes man.
Exactly. And he knows what Ainz wants to hear, which is the truth. Mm-hmm. Which is like, how can he actually go about doing stuff? He doesn't want to hear yes, 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 because he knows that'll get him fucked up.
Yeah.
Because not everything is a yes.
Right.
And Ainz will know if you're bullshitting.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But
yeah, I mean, they go to meet the merchant, and the merchant dude's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
This cool dude is like, yeah, but you can't use magic, you can't use your like spells, your consumables, stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, no problem. And the Adventure Guild guy's like, well, this is the Warrior King that you're facing. And I'm just like,
and you're a mage, so like,
yeah, and you're a mage. So this is like not a matchup for you. You can't do this. And he's like, yeah, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then so they set up the fight and everything. Mm-hmm. You see that quick sequence with the Emperor. They go to the arena.
Mm-hmm. Ainz walks in.
Yeah.
Because he's announced.
Exactly.
Portals in, probably.
However he does
I think he portals in.
I think he just flies in.
I don't remember how he I don't think they showed how he came in, but I think it's obvious he portaled in. Because it's an international incident for a king of a kingdom to be in somebody else's kingdom without giving notice. That's what
but he also said it was joking, and they were friends.
He's like, we're joking, so he's not going to matter. Yeah, but that's why he didn't, and that's why he didn't. So that's probably why
I didn't know that he was there.
Yeah, probably why he portaled. That's probably why he portaled in. Because if he would have took a carriage or something, somebody would have told him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's no way you wouldn't have seen it.
Makes sense.
So he comes in, and so then when he's there, he's in full melee gear. That's when he's like, oh.
Not even full of he's just in his robe with his axe, dude. Like,
not his robe. He's in like an adventurer robe.
Yeah, an adventurer robe.
An adventurer robe, and with a halberd actually.
Halberd, yeah.
And 3 rapier swords.
Was it 3 or 2? 3. 3.
Was there 3?
Yeah, because he's got the 2 little knives, the Momon's knives.
Yeah, like
and then he's got the actual rapier.
Okay, yeah. So
I think 3.
3.
4 total.
And so when he's there, he kind of looked up. He's like, Jerknib's here. I'm going to say hi. And then he shows up and is like, yo, what's good? And everybody, holy fuck, man! Holy fuck, man! And literally, what's coincidence? Funny enough.
It was pretty coincidental.
Fun thing.
He was there just to get some adventures. His buddy's there, and he
trying to plot against him. Yeah. His buddy was there trying to plot against him. Who would have thought? He was actually there, literally there on coincidence.
What I like is also during the fight, while Jerknibs the whole time, he's like, let's go, Warrior King! Come on, kill him! Come on, Warrior King! Just like, please!
Please. He's so stressed out, man. He's losing his hair.
Literally pulling his own hair out.
Yeah, it's insane.
But the whole time he's just like, let's go, Warrior King, come on. And the whole time I'm just like, isn't he supposed to be my ally? What?
He's like, damn, he's sure is
he sure is saying, I don't know what he's saying, but it doesn't seem supportive.
Yeah, it doesn't seem supportive. It sure is rooting against me. Damn.
That was funny.
Is it that bad? Am I that bad? Damn.
It literally doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter. Well, I did like seeing, I did like seeing Ainz use the magical items that he had.
Yeah.
They weren't magical, but they were obviously
they had the properties. Abilities.
They had properties. Yeah, so when they hit him with the fire he stabbed him.
Just like the Warrior King had the armor reinforcement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that type of thing.
So.
And trolls are super weak to fire.
Exactly. So he was using the fire so he can regenerate and all that other stuff.
Which is super cool. And you find out that the troll actually great character design.
It actually is really cool. I thought it was going to be one of those stupid blue-looking,
ugly type
looking.
Yeah. No, he actually looked very cool.
Yeah, he did.
Great design.
He looks like an actual ogre.
Yeah, very cool.
Or troll.
Troll. Very, very cool. And he talked about, if I win, I can eat you, because if I eat you, I get stronger.
Which I feel like that's going to play off in the future, because now, he resurrects
I feel like they kind of stole that from Slime.
A little bit.
Because the fucking goblin, the pig guy from Slime, when he eats motherfuckers, he gets strong. So anyways, because they have the Devour ability. So I thought that was interesting. So he beats him or whatever, and then basically they make a deal, like, hey, he's like, I'll fight to the death. So Ainz kills him, and then he's like, he pretty much gets on a microphone, makes a fucking magical microphone, and it's just like, yeah, I'm looking for adventurers for my kingdom.
Not to fight, but literally
not to fight explore. For me, for the kingdom or anything, but literally just to explore and shit.
Here's some perks. Yeah, you get basically unlimited power. Oh, also this just resurrects
the ogre guy.
Yeah, so you'll be...
Yeah, I'll resurrect you guys too. You won't die.
You'll be almost immortal.
Yeah. Just come explore the world at my kingdom.
Literally just explore for me.
Come explore the world for me at my kingdom. Ainz al Ghun.
Ainz al Ghun. 2022. Whatever. Whatever we're doing now.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
One guy's up to the emperor.
One guy's up there. Ainz! Hey! And the whole kingdom, everybody's fucking scared. One guy's like, hey! No, but
So, I don't know, and that's kind of where...
That's where it cuts off.
That's where it cuts. But, you see the emperor just talking about, oh my god, I'm just fucked.
Then he flies up to the emperor and is like, thanks for letting me participate in the match and stuff like that, and I'll be bouncing. And the emperor's like, pretty much last ditch effort, let me be a vassal for your nation. I will dissolve my fucking empire, and we will literally just be under you.
We will be part of the Sorcerer Kingdom.
Yeah,
because he just wants to be. He just wants to stay alive.
He wants to stay alive.
He wants to stay alive. He doesn't give a shit about anything else.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about honor or anything else. Yeah, he just wants to live.
Yeah, at this point, he's like, there's no hope. There's quite literally no hope. I just want to live. Let me just be a part of your kingdom. I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah, fuck it. I lost all my. I just burnt every bridge I had.
I'll be the priest, that shit didn't work.
That shit didn't work. I just burnt every bridge I had. You're too smart for me.
I think the priests are also the dragons, or have something to do with the dragons.
From the intro scene?
From the intro scene.
Okay.
But that's a different thing.
Yes, you're calling it right now.
I'm calling that, though.
Okay.
I just think, but that's a different thing.
So,
he burned all those bridges. There's nothing left.
Right.
He's got this option, and that's it.
Right.
This option and death. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm with you. So and then he pretty much breaks it down. Ainz is like, I'll think about it.
Okay.
That's paperwork and shit. I'm not here for that.
I ain't even worried about it.
I'm not even thinking about it, but yeah, okay. And then he leaves and then teleports away, basically.
Yes.
And then the blonde dude just freaking out, like, why wouldn't he say yes? Why would he take me? Is he planning on killing us? Like, what's the big?
We would have already done it. Like,
and then his knight dude, the only time that anybody has actually understood Ainz for the first time ever in the entire fucking series of the show was like, nah, man, I don't think he was just thinking about it. I don't think he was. I think he just caught him off guard. I don't think he was thinking about it.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, you're wrong.
I am the emperor, and I said I would dissolve my country for him.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I said I would dissolve my kingdom for
wrong.
him. He's like, he doesn't, like, he could just take your kingdom. So
he doesn't really care. Yeah, the knight dude's like, I don't think that matters. I don't think that's what it was. I think he was just like, I think he just kind of caught him off guard.
About something else.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it's fucking impossible. And I was like,
could he?
And I was like, bro, that knight is the only person that's ever gotten Ainz what Ainz was thinking actually right.
Exactly.
Which is hilarious to me.
But
so
this new season though,
a banger, baby. It's just a banger. I'm gonna give it 4 episodes in. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
That's the first for you. I was gonna go 9 out of 10.
Nah,
I thought you were gonna go 9.5. That's a 10 out of 10 for you.
I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, that's what a 10 out of 10 looks like.
Bro, what it looks like is amazing writing with everything tied together.
One thing I'll still
from
say,
different perspectives.
The one thing I will still say, no Lizard Kingdom.
No fan service either, so you should
no fan service. Well, no, not no. I mean,
no.
We got big ass titties just out in the open trying to trap my boy.
I guess, but they were coming up.
But I don't care. But like,
and all the writings together.
I gotta know.
All the different perspectives.
I gotta know how we use the Lizard Kingdom.
Guarantee. I'm going to say it right now before we reach like a super long. I'm gonna guarantee right now, Demiurge's gonna use them.
But for what? Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Demiurge's going to use them. Yeah, I've been thinking about it hard, and I think Demiurge's.
But 9 out of 10 so far.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man. Definitely go check it out. If you haven't seen it, watch the episodes. Tell us what you guys think. Definitely comment and let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if you guys are feeling this new season, because we're definitely feeling it. I'm so excited. Every Tuesday. We call it Undead Tuesday. Undead Tuesday. For the Overlord episodes, I think we're going to wait for another 4 episodes, and then we'll just go ahead and drop another thing like this. It'll be longer, but I think this is probably the plan. I think
they're doing 12 episodes this season, so we'll do three podcasts, and then a finale one, or 2 podcasts and the finale, covering the last 4, something like that.
Sounds good.
Or
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we'll do.
But yeah, it's damn good.
Damn good. I love it when all the writing comes together. I love when a plan comes together.
I love when a good story comes together.
I love when a good plan comes together, you know? And you're watching, you need some popcorn, like, oh, shit. And then, and you can actually be surprised at things happening. Like, you didn't, nobody saw
popping out of nowhere. Like, at all.
Nobody.
Dude. Like, I thought for sure it was, like, going to be this, like,
brain
this new arc of, like, the priest and him trying to overthrow Ainz or do some, like, hunt for some magical items and stuff like that. Nah, fuck it. Like, surprise, motherfucker. Exactly. He took all these he took 10 minutes to build countermeasures, got these adamantite heroes who we never even see again, because I'm sure they just bounced as soon as that even happened. I'm sure they did too, yeah. But, like, you know, he takes all these precautions. Yeah, but what do you do when he just shows up, though?
Right. Hey,
what you gonna do when he just shows up, though? Like,
hey, boys, can I play? You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, why you look so scared?
Yeah. Hey, bro, you look kind of pale, bro. You good? Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You balding, bro?
Yeah, you balding, bro? So, yeah.
Anyways.
Great series.
Good shit.
Thanks for watching. Shit. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 100. Trying to hit 100 subscribers. Anybody can just watch it. Yeah. Just watch it. Just come hang out. You know, whatever. Like, whatever. So, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.